It's been a few days, but there was a lot going on during Mass, and I'm going to tell you about it. Here are the 7 really cool things that I saw happening, and then one thing that God was angry about that happened during the service. So the first one is, this is a clip of just walking from the car to the entrance of the church. And in this clip, it's sort of on the left side as we're looking at it, but I see 3 angels standing there, like ushering people to the door. And that's so cool because the first one is like really short, the second one is a middle height, and the third one is the tallest. And so they kind of went in ascending order, but they were there to help people focus and get them inside, which I just thought was really cool. This next clip, this building was like huge. There were multiple buildings. So we had to like walk through that first building and then go to the actual place where like the congregation sits during the church. And so I looked over at where most people walk in. Turns out we had gone in a side entrance, but where most people walk in, and I saw on the roof this gorgeous golden architecture. Like I need to drop a picture of like something like it, but like almost like a Baroque style that you would find in Europe of like cherubim, but it was in a statue form. It wasn't an actual angel, but there was a statue in it. And then it was just so beautifully inlaid and laid with gold. And I asked God, like, hey, is this from you? Catholic Church, I don't always agree with what happens. My family, unfortunately, has a really complicated history with the Catholic Church. So I was fully expecting there to be bad things here. And I was pleasantly surprised. It was so good, except for this one thing that I'm going to tell you about at the very end. All right, so now, sitting in our pew, I was with my aunt, and I looked up at the ceiling, and there was this one of the beams, I got a video of it here, but one of the beams was inlaid with, again, that gorgeous golden architecture. But then the very center, the very top, it was like it was like a messy golden chandelier, and it was growing. Like the gold, as more of these services were happening, and I'm guessing as the Holy Spirit moves throughout the service, this chandelier is growing and growing, and God told me at some point it's going to drop down and they're going to experience something new. I'm hoping a move of the Holy Spirit, because the whole sermon was about Pentecost and a move of the Holy Spirit. Next thing, the singer was so talented. Oh my gosh, she was so good. And when I got to watch her in the spirit, I saw a gigantic, like 8.5 foot tall angel above her. And I could tell this angel had been with her most of her life. But when she sang, I saw this angel sit down. And that is so special. That is so special because angels are always working. I've never seen an angel sit down or relax or lounge while they're on earth, while they're on their mission. And the reason was her singing blessed him. I got to tell her that after the service, and she definitely teared up, was just trying to keep it together. I mean, who's not going to tear up if you hear an angel is so blessed by your singing that they just want to listen to you? It was wonderful. Now, there are a couple interesting things. There was this moment where I did feel some demonic presence, but this kind of thing is common in just churches. It depends on the church. But I felt the spiritual tap on the shoulder, and I looked really quick, and I saw something masquerading as an angel say, "You need to leave." I'm not going to leave, and I know you're not an angel. Honestly, I don't even think I said anything. I think in just my heart, I just rejected that. I was like, no. And I heard it saying, oh no, it had been caught. It had been trying to get me to leave because it was actually threatened by my awareness. When I looked at the back of the sanctuary, at the doorway, there were a bunch of demons that couldn't really come into the sanctuary. It's almost like if they came into the sanctuary, it's almost like they had to hold their breath. You know, if we dive underwater without any equipment, we can only do it for a few seconds, up to a minute at a time really, and then we have to go back. These were these demons. They couldn't enter the sanctuary except for short periods of time. And it's because, this is just sometimes a church thing. Hopefully the demons get checked in the parking lot, right? But it doesn't always happen that way. But they couldn't come in the sanctuary, and it's because people are people. We're coming in with our issues, right? But they could not exist, or these demons could not stick around while people were in the sanctuary. So I also saw the Holy Spirit during this service, and for some reason he was with the color green. I got this shot of my shoes because I looked underneath my feet and I saw like this like vein of green, almost like I had found like if I were mining and I found a rock, something green, but I don't know exactly why it was green. But the Holy Spirit told me that even though in this particular church, he's not going to have an outward move of the Holy Spirit, like someone's not going to stand up and start speaking in tongues, But the Holy Spirit was reaching out. I saw his mist of who he is reaching out and touching different people's hearts, because the Holy Spirit, God knows who's coming into church with an open heart, and the Holy Spirit was meeting them exactly where they were. So it was really cool to see him working out. And now finally, we get to the thing that God was really upset about. So what I learned from my aunt who regularly attends Mass, that if you haven't taken communion yourself, like it's not for you to go up and receive the communion because you're not a part or haven't been confirmed, I think. While the whole congregation was going up to receive the host and the bread and drink some of the wine, I sat back. And I had an option to go up and like receive a blessing, but it wouldn't have been right for me to receive the host. And as I was checking it, I was just watching and looking around. I got a little video of it too, and I felt God's anger. And I was like, listen, I don't feel anger very often. God truly is very slow to anger, but he was angry. I can't remember the last time that I felt him. And God gets angry about injustice. And so I was like, God, I was like, did I do something wrong? Should I have gone up and like asked the priest for a blessing or something? And God said, no. But God told me, Dakota, I'm very upset that this church does not let you, a Christian, go up there and receive communion. But that was the one thing that I felt God was incredibly upset over. I get it, but the rest, he was totally in that service, and it was wonderful to see.